Hi, I'm Tim Tuller, Canon for Music at St. John's Cathedral. I'm just going to say a couple words about the music for this Sunday, January 14th. This week we're recognizing the baptism of our Lord, and that theme will be all around in the hymns and the music that we're doing today. Our prelude is the prelude on Christ our Lord to Jordan came. It's actually spelled out in the German in the leaflet. It's a chorale by Dietrich Buxtehude, who was one of the very most important North German composers and organists in the period just preceding J.S. Bach, so the late 16 and early 1700s. He was a huge influence on Bach. In fact, there's a famous story of Bach when he was young undertaking a 200-mile-plus road trip on foot to visit Buxtehude and study with him. So he's a huge influence. The chorale is based on a tune actually written in 1541 by Martin Luther. Christ our Lord to Jordan came. It was a Lutheran hymn or chorale, and it actually exists in our hymnal 1982 at number 139. It's not a hymn that's often sung by modern congregations. We don't really know it here at St. John's. It's not easy to sing, but the congregation of Bach and Buxtehude's time would have been very familiar with it. It's set in the form of an ornamented chorale, which means the chorale tune is elaborated with lots of trills and runs and ornaments and various things like this. So if you didn't know the chorale tune was there, it wouldn't be immediately obvious to the ear. Our offertory anthem is Christ is Our Cornerstone by 20th century English composer Noel Rawsthorne. Rawsthorne was most well known for being the longtime organist at Liverpool Cathedral in England. He was there from 1955 until 1980 and wrote a lot of really wonderful choral and organ music. He actually appears quite a bit in my work here at St. John's. He wrote a lot of reharmonizations for hymns that you'll often hear me play during services on the last verse. They're very well done. This piece, Christ is Our Cornerstone, is very simple and straightforward. It starts out with a kind of a long, splashy fanfare introduction for organ, and you'll hear the trumpet stops, all kinds of things going on there. And then the choir comes in at a simple, straightforward melody that eventually goes into 4 parts. Our postlude this Sunday is entitled simply Caroline by English composer Herbert Marill. Marill was active in the early to mid 20th century, and he's probably best well known as a longtime broadcaster for the BBC. He also wrote music, was very skillful as a composer. Not much of his music remains today. There's a setting of the evening canticles that we've done at St. John's here with the choir a couple times, and then this piece, Caroline for organ. Several composers have written organ pieces by that same title, and they're all different, but what they have in common is they try to evoke the feel or the sound of appealing carillon. And that is what this piece does. It starts out with a little manual figuration that sort of has the feel of a ringing carillon, and eventually that goes into the pedals. You'll hear it there with some fanfare figurations going on above it. It's a very vigorous and uplifting piece to end any service, as opposed to. I hope you enjoy the music this Sunday.